everybody. Once again, I'm Anna, and just like our previous days, we're going to be doing a little bit of yoga, and it's what your body wants. So if you start feeling any aches or pains, or you don't want to do a specific pose or move, then you don't have to. You can stop. You can come back to a seated position. You can, just take a moment and stand there comfortably. Just do what's okay for your body, okay? So we're going to start seated again today, so that can be legs crossed or legs out long, whichever feels better. But we want to get up tall through the crown of our head towards the ceiling. So wiggle it out a little if we need to, adjust here. We lengthen through the crown of our head. Take a few deep breaths here. We're going to practice that belly breathing again. So we're drawing the air into our bellies, nice big bellies, and then our ribs expand outwards. And then our chest lifts up towards the ceiling as we inhale. Exhale out as much air as we can. Everything comes back towards one another. 2 more big breaths. 1 more time. This is a nice breath to do if you ever feel stressed or if you're worried about anything, if you want to calm down a bit. It's a calming breath. 1 more. And then we're going to add our arms. So we're going to inhale, reach our hands up nice and tall. Reach, reach, reach. Exhale, press our palms together. Draw our hands towards the floor through the center of our body and inhale back up. We can keep our gaze forward, or if we're ready, then we can start taking our gaze following our fingertips. So we look up, tilt our chin up as we inhale. Exhale, we're tilting our chin down towards our chest. We can go fast or slow, whatever works for our breath. One more big breath, reaching as tall as we can out of our sit bones, our bum. And then we're exhaling just our right hand down. Our left hand, we reach it tall. Our right hand is on the floor if we like support here. If this feels good and we want more stretch, then maybe we exhale, take it over to the side. So we feel the stretch all along the side of our body here. Reach long through the fingertips. Inhale back up straight. Exhale our left hand down. Our right arm comes up. Inhale, lengthen tall. If we feel good here, then we might take it over to the side. Stretch through your side body, keeping our shoulders open so we're not collapsing towards the floor. We're tipping to the side. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale, both hands down beside us. Roll through our shoulders a bit here, forwards or backwards, whatever feels good. Maybe one arm at a time, maybe both. And then we're going to bring our hands to our knees and we're going to practice our rib circles. So we bring our ribs forward to the side and then all the way back, really arching through our back. Bring it to the side, forward and around. So we're moving through our hips, moving through our spine and our shoulders. 1 more this direction. And then we switch. Circle the other way. 1 more time, coming to the back, and then bring it up to center, lengthen through the crown of our head again. We're going to come over onto all fours. So I'm going to turn sideways so you can see me better, but it's okay if you stay facing your screen. We can have a couple options here. We can come over onto our knees and uncross our legs behind us. Or from our cross-legged, our legs out long, we can take it to one hip and then come over to the side that way. We end up with our hands right underneath our shoulders. We're going to tuck our toes under and lift up into our downward facing dog. So our tails point up towards the ceiling. Our heels press down towards the floor. Hands are shoulder width apart here. Take a few breaths. We can choose to stay steady, lengthen through our back. Or we can walk the dog, bend one knee, press the opposite heel a little bit closer towards the mat, and switch with our breath. Once again, we can go fast or slow. Breathe into the stretch along our calf muscle. So that's the muscle on the back side of our lower leg. Take a couple switches through our feet here. And then we press both heels towards the floor. It's okay if they don't touch. And then as we exhale, we're going to take baby steps up towards our hands. Bend through our knees if we need to. Release our hands from the mat. Straighten our legs back out. And we're in our forward fold. So the crown of our head, the top of our head is towards the mat. We're looking through our legs towards the back of the room. If this is too much for us, we can always find our hands on our shins or hands on our thighs for support. If that feels good, then maybe we come back, lengthening out into that forward fold. Maybe our hands reach towards our feet or the floor. And then we're going to inhale halfway up to our monkey. So our hands come to our shins or our thighs if they're not already. Our gaze is to the floor now, and the top of our head points towards the screen or the wall in front of us. We're engaging, pulling our belly button in towards our spine, engaging through our core. Our shoulders are rolling back towards our hips. And this is our monkey pose. So we might feel a little bit of a stretch through our hamstrings, the backs of our thighs. We exhale, bring it back down to forward fold so that we can soften through our knees. Press through our heels as we inhale, we reach our arms out to the side and then all the way overhead. Volcano up, reach it tall, and then exhale. We're finding our mountain. Our hands can face forward, palms forward. We're spreading our toes, lifting them, wiggling them out, and then pressing them into the mat, finding it nice and strong. Take another breath here. And then as we exhale, we're going to step our right foot back. We're finding a crescent lunge, so our heels stay lifted. We're sinking our hips towards the floor. We're bending through our left thigh. Our knee stays over our ankle or maybe slightly behind, but we don't want it to sneak out past our toes. If this feels good with our hands at our hips, maybe we start bringing our hands back to heart center, right in front of our chest, or maybe we reach our hands overhead. As we exhale, we're going to bring our chest down towards the floor. Bring our right hand to the mat. And then we're opening up into a twisting crescent lunge, stacking our shoulders. If we want a little less twist and balance, we can always gently drop to our right knee, untuck our toes, and find a modified twisting crescent lunge here. Our gaze can be to the wall or up towards the ceiling. Exhale, our left hand comes down. We look back towards the floor. If our knee is on the floor, we can start tucking our back toe under, and then we're going to step it forward, back into that forward fold. So both feet end up at the top of our area here, underneath our hips. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Push through our heels, lift tall, look to the ceiling like we're a volcano, exploding up. And then exhale, find our mountain. So our palms face forward, gaze is straight in front of us. Then we're going to exhale the other side. So our left foot steps back, our heel stays lifted so that we have room through our legs to sink through our right thigh. If we want a little less with our balance today, we can gently drop to the back knee for a modified crescent lunge. So find what works for us. Our hands can stay low. We can bring hands to heart center or overhead. Reaching up through our fingertips, but we keep our shoulders low towards the floor. So we're not crowding our ears. Exhale, we come over. This time it's our left hand staying into the floor. We open and stack our shoulders. Look the opposite direction here from the first round. We can stay on our toes, or remember we always have the option to find our back knee. A little more support here. Stacking our shoulders open, twisting. Exhale, we bring our right hand down to the floor. Tuck our toes under in the back if we came to our knee. We're stepping our left foot forward, finding a forward fold. Taking a breath here. We're going to find our monkey again. So we inhale halfway up, hands on our shins or our thighs for support. Gaze is towards the floor. Look down at the floor. Lengthen through our back so we have a nice, strong, flat back. Exhale as we come back down. Take a breath here. We're bending our knees as much as we need to get our hands flat on the mat, fingers spread nice and wide, and then we're either stepping or we can take a giant hop back. So we can hop here, or from our forward fold, we can step one foot at a time, and we're gonna lift our hips up, find one of those downward facing dogs again, really engaging our core, tailbones up towards the ceiling, lengthen through our spine and along our shoulders. As we exhale, we're gonna gently drop down to our knees, and then we're gonna find a modified plank, lengthening through our hips. So our elbows point to the back of the room, the points of our elbows point back, and then we're slowly coming down. Coming all the way down to the floor. We're dropping our stomach, dropping our chest. We're gonna find our cobra. Like we've done before here, we're inhaling, lengthening through our spine. We can lightly press into our hands if that feels good today. Exhale, come back down. If we feel good here and we want more of a challenge, we can gently then press a little higher on our next deep breath in. Pull our elbows towards our hips. Exhale as we come down. This time we're gonna pick our spine and our hips up all in one piece. Tuck our toes again, send our hips back and up. Find our downward facing dog again. We're exhaling, and then with our next deep inhale, our breath in, we're reaching our right toes off the mat, hover them, and then we exhale, bring the knee towards our chest, plant our foot in between our hands, use our hands for help if we need to. From here, we can stay on our toes or we can gently drop to our back knee. If we feel good on our toes, then we might choose to lift our chest again, come back up to that high crescent lunge. Hands can stay low. If we feel good here, then maybe we bring hands to heart center or overhead. One more time, we're gonna exhale, come down, plant our left hand, open up. This time, if we wanna add more of a twist, we can look with our gaze, take our eyes up towards the ceiling. So we're twisting more through our neck, still keeping our shoulders right on top of one another. And then we exhale our right hand, our top hand comes down. Square our shoulders to the floor. We step our right foot back, lift our hips up, find a down dog. If down dog is a little too much for us today, we can always choose to come here to all fours. From our down dog, we're gonna inhale out, and we're gonna find a plank on our toes. If we don't want a plank on our toes, we can always choose a plank on our knees. So this is engaging our core, getting us nice and strong. We exhale, bring it down. Elbows point to the back of the room. Drop our stomach, drop our chest, and then we inhale lightly and lengthen through our spine, find a cobra. So we're looking like a snake here. Lengthen the crown of our head up towards the ceiling. Exhale, we bring it back down. Long spine, picking our hips and our back up. Tuck our toes under, find the downward facing dog. We're inhaling, we're gonna float our left toes off the mat. Exhale, drive the knee towards our chest, plant our foot in between our hands, use our hands for help. We can choose here to be on our toes or to be on our right knee. If we feel good here, then we can start to lift our chest, find our high crescent lunge with our hands on our hips, at heart center, or overhead. Choose what feels best to us. Remember, we can always come back to our knee or take a rest break on all fours if you like. We're gonna exhale, our chest comes over. Plant our right hand on the floor. Turn our chest towards our knee as we stack our shoulders. And then if this feels good, then we take our gaze up to the ceiling, look towards our left fingertips. Exhale, our top hand comes down. Square our shoulders to the mat. This time we're gonna step forward. So if we don't have our toes tucked, tuck our toes under. If we need a couple steps here, that's okay. Or take one big step up. Find that forward fold again here. Crown of the head, top of the head towards the mat. Lengthen out. See if now that we're a little warmer, maybe our hands are on our shins instead of our thighs, or they're inching closer towards our feet. Sometimes that happens as we get warmer, we're able to stretch a little more. If not, that's okay. Breathe into where we're at. And then we're inhaling, push through our heels, soft through our knees, lift tall, volcano up, lengthen, lengthen, come on to our tiptoes. And then exhale, bring it back down. Roll through our shoulders. I'm gonna turn to face you so you can see me a little better, but you can stay facing however you're at. Roll the shoulders down. We're gonna step it wide again. So we're taking our feet out, nice wide stance, way wider than our hips or our shoulders. Our toes and our knees are pointed out a little bit to the corners. We're gonna do what's called moonflowers. So if you were with us a couple days ago, we did sunflowers. Moonflowers start the same. We inhale, reach it tall. Exhale, bend at our knees, and we pull our elbows in towards our back. So we're really squeezing our shoulder blades together, open chest. Inhale, reach tall. Exhale, come down. You can go as fast as me. Maybe you like to go faster or slower. Find what feels good for you. Breathe, exhale and sink. Inhale and lift. So we're trying to match the move to our breath here. One more time, exhale, sink low, really squeeze the shoulder blades together, press the chest forward, sink through the hips. Knees are open over our ankles. Inhale, reach tall. Exhale, our hands down. We're gonna switch around our feet. Hands at our hips will help our balance a little bit. We're gonna point our left toes straight forward and our right toes straight to the other side. And then we start bending through our right thigh, and we're finding a warrior two here. Sink through the right thigh, knees stacked over our ankle. Hands can choose to stay low. If we feel good here, then maybe we take our hands to heart center, or we lengthen our arms out to the sides. Maybe our gaze stays straight forward, or we can take our gaze towards our right fingertips, changing it up a little bit. This is called a proud warrior two. We're lifting our right hand over, turn our palm to face the ceiling, and then we inhale, our right hand goes up as our left hand comes down towards our thigh. If this feels good to have slight support here, we're not collapsing into the hand, but it can help us support, that's okay. If we want more challenge, then we can take that support away, reach behind our leg, reach the fingertips towards the floor. If our neck feels okay, then we can lift our gaze up towards the ceiling, really reaching tall through the right side of our torso. Exhaling, we're coming out of our reverse or peaceful warrior back to our warrior two. Hands can come to our hips. We're gonna straighten through our front leg, turn our right toes to face forward, and we're gonna find the other side, pivoting our left toes towards the other wall. Sink into our left thigh. Hands can stay at our hips as we get adjusted here. Sink the hips low. We can choose to stay hands low the whole time. Maybe we bring our hands to heart center, or once again, we can reach them out to the opposite ends of the room. So our hips and shoulders are open, facing the same direction. Our left toes are pointed out to the side. Our right toes are pointed forward, just like our shoulders. We can choose to stay with our gaze forward, or we can take our gaze over our left fingertips. One more breath in our proud warrior two. We're flipping our left palm over. Reach up with our left side this time. Our right hand can land on our thigh for support. Lengthen tall through the left side of our torso. If this feels good, then maybe we take our right hand away, reach it behind our thigh, take the support away. If our neck feels okay, then maybe we take our gaze up towards the ceiling. Exhale, we come back to center. We're going to bring our hands back to our hips for a little help here. We straighten through our front leg. All 10 toes point in the same direction. Straight forward here. We're going to find our straddle split. So hands can be on our hips. Maybe they're on our legs for support if we like. We're going to bring the center of our chest down towards the floor. Hinging at the hips, keeping our spine long. Trying not to round through our back yet. If we like more support, then maybe our hands come down underneath our shoulders onto the floor or the mat. Once we find our breath here, then maybe we come a little deeper, let ourselves hinge further around a bit now, letting the top of our head come towards the floor. One more deep breath, enjoying our stretch. And then we're slowly coming back up. Hands can, with support, come to our thighs. We can engage our core a little more, bring hands to our hips. We're coming back up. We're going to step our feet in, not all the way, but they should be a little wider than our hip distance apart. So they're a little wider. So this time, instead of bringing our chest over and down, we're going to bring our hips down. So I'm going to turn to the side so you can see me a little better here. We're going to send our bum down and back towards the floor. Hands can be at our chest or on our thighs for support. As we sink here, if we stop here and our heels start pulling off the floor, then that's okay. We can stop here. If it feels good in our body today and our hips, then we can start sinking a little lower into what's called our prayer squat, so that our knees end up on the outside of our arms and our hips are right in between our heels towards the floor. Once again, if we feel good here and we don't want to come any lower, that's okay. So find what feels good for you. So I'll show you the front view here. Our knees are pressing into our arms are pressing back. We're going to take one more breath here, stretching our hips open. And we're going to come all the way down to the floor. So we can reach our hands in front or behind ourselves, sink into our hips, let our heels come up, sink down, find a seat. If you're a little further up, maybe you come onto one knee first, come to all fours, and then come down. We're sitting up nice and tall, lengthening through the crown of our head. We're going to lengthen our legs out long onto the mat or the floor. Turn sideways again so y'all can see me. We're lengthening through the crown of our head up towards the ceiling, long through our spine. We're going to hinge at our hips, lengthen, bring the chest forward. Hands can be on our legs for support, or they can be on the floor beside us. And then maybe we round over once we get a little further. We can wrap our hands around our ankles, maybe around our heels, whatever works for us today. Remember, it's not a competition. We don't have to go as low or as far as other people. That's okay. We're going to walk our hands back in from our seated forward fold, sitting back up nice and tall. We're going to bring our right foot in flat on the mat. We can find it here. If this feels good through our hips, then maybe we take our foot across our knee and we find a little more of a stretch through our hip and our thigh here. We're still sitting up nice and tall. We're going to gently twist. So we take our chest towards our knee and then pass. Our right hand can come behind us for support. Lengthen up tall as we twist. We can stay here. If we want a little more of a twist, then we can gently take our forearm across our thigh, turn a little more. Our face and our gaze can stay to the side, or turn towards and look at our right shoulder, looking behind us. Finding a seated twist. We're gently coming back, taking our gaze around. Our shoulders come around, our ribs and belly button, and we're going to switch sides. So lengthen both legs out. Find those sit bones, the bony parts underneath our hips here again. Lengthen towards the ceiling. We bring our left foot in, flat on the mat. We can keep it right where it is, in line. Or we can take our foot across our right leg and our knee. Lengthen tall. We're going to exhale and twist, gently bringing ourselves around. Our left hand comes to the back of the mat. Our gaze can stay forward. We can take it around a little more. If this feels good, then maybe we take our right arm across our left knee, gentle twist, looking towards our left shoulder or the back of the rib. One more breath. Exhaling, we untwist, bringing it back to center, uncrossing our arm, uncrossing our legs. We're gonna make sure if you're in an area, make sure you're in the middle of your mat or whatever area you're working with. We're gonna roll on back. So we can use our hands on our thighs or our knees for help here. We're rolling down. And then we bring our head all the way down to the floor, look up towards the ceiling. And we're gonna make sure that our back, our spine is pressed into the floor. And we bring our knees in one at a time. And then we can gently rock it side to side. Or maybe take our knees around in a circle. So we're pressing our lower back into the mat, feeling a little different, feeling a stretch there. Bringing it back to center. And we're gonna roll at our ankles one way. And then roll the other. We're gonna find a happy baby pose. So if you've seen any babies around that you've been hanging out with, they do this a lot. We're gonna bring our knees towards our shoulders. We're gonna wrap our hands around the inside of our feet. And then we bring our feet up towards the ceiling. We gently pull our shins down towards the floor, press the feet up. So we might find a little bit of a stretch through our hips, maybe our hamstrings, so that's the backs of our thighs right here. Find another breath or two. Pulling down with our hands and pressing up with our feet, pressing our back into the mat. Exhale, we gently bring our heels towards our thighs. Pull our shins back together. We're gonna curl into as tight of a ball as we can. Wrap our hands around our shins, squeezing our muscles, making a funny face. All of our muscles squeeze tight. And then we exhale, we lengthen out long on the mat. Reach our hands overhead, our feet reach to the top. Spread our fingers and toes. Press our hips up, squeeze. And then exhale, we release. Bring our hands down, let them rest on our bellies and one on our chest. We've got 30 more seconds here. We're gonna find that deep breath laying down this time. So inhale, our hand on our belly rises, and then our ribs expand, and then our chest lifts. We exhale, our hand on our chest falls down, our ribs come together, and our belly falls in. One more time. Inhaling deeply, exhale it all out. And we're gonna slowly roll to one side, curling our knees in towards our chest just a little bit. We're gonna press into our top hand, use our bottom hand for help as well if we like. Bring it back to a seated position. Our legs can be crossed, or we can start with our legs out long. Just like the beginning of class, whichever you like better. We're gonna take 2 deep breaths here, inhaling and reaching our hands up. Exhale, pull our hands through towards the floor. One more time. Inhale, reach, reach, reach. Exhale. And we'll meet hands at heart center. I'm gonna say thank you very, very much for being here today. I'm glad y'all could practice with me again. I hope y'all have a great rest of your day.